If you like trading the stock charts and collecting premium, then we are probably new best friends. Welcome to the Wealth Snowball. I am your new best friend in stocks, options, dividends, etc. Let's get into this because I sold off basically everything yesterday. Well, the remaining portion of my portfolio because last Tuesday I sold the biggest chunks off, but I wanted to get you up to speed on what is happening, hot stuff here in the portfolio. We'll start with Friday with these two positions. I did buy 2,000 shares of TMF at 46.46. TMF is a 3 times bull on the TLT. The TLT, yeah, it's a dynamite. And you know the TLT. I've been talking about that all year. Been stalking it for the last couple of weeks. Bought 500 shares at 91.41, and well, no, somehow along the way, I must have bought two tranches. I'm gonna have to update that spreadsheet because I know I ended up with 1,000 shares. So I likely no. Hold on, is there some older one here? Yeah, right there. So 500 shares at 92.28 on a Wednesday of last week, and then Friday another 500 at 91.41. That gave me 1,000 shares, and then yesterday, Monday, I was stopped out of both of them. I had moved up my stops and I got caught on a little bit of a wave down. It did end up doing just fine. I profited $3,375 on the TMF, $305 on the TLT, and then I did short Bitcoin. What? It just had a pretty good setup. I've been trying to test out my Bitcoin chart reading because I've been both hot and cold. Been pretty hot lately with the Bitcoin. So I just had a little position on the Biddy, which is a 2 times bear on Bitcoin. Got in at 682, and then shortly after that, I was like, let's just get out while the getting's good because I saw that it was going to be looking to turn up again, and it did just that. But in the meantime, I put $280 into the My Little Pony Velcro wallet, stuffed that directly into the skinny jeans, and then I sold off the AGQ. I would have sold that a week ago. Yeah, it would have been a week ago, and I would have made more dollar bills, like way more than this. But the reason I did sell, I'll show you in just a minute on the silver chart, but I still ended up profiting $85,380 in 31 days, and that included the premium because I was aggressively selling covered calls and ended up with like over 30,000, like $32,000 in premium collected in those 31 days. And then I did sell off my small position of the SLV 3,000 shares at 29.64 and profited 42.35. At one point, it was like last Tuesday, which when I forgot to sell it because I was in a frenzy. Well, look at TMF run now, boy. It was up about 10,000, so I ended up at 42.35, but it's still green, right? So you can't go broke taking profit. And then this morning, I'm like, hey, TMF looks ripe again. Got in 2,000 shares at 47.20. And then you can see, so here's the TLT. You can see it's had a nice turn up for what? How's that look? And then my goal is 95, and it's not going to get there in a direct line. It's going to take 5 waves up to get there. So I'll be counting the waves diligently and then moving up my stops on the TMF just in case we want to lock in and not have to go through the wild ride of a leveraged ETF, which is the TMF. So you can see it's making a nice run right now, up 29 cents today. And I probably, well, I'll be able to show you exactly where I bought the TMF. So anyway, the TLT 95 is the target, but we've been tracking this. It looks like we're on it now. Obviously, this is going to have to turn this way. It didn't go straight up. It meandered, which means I'm probably not out of the woods, but I'm right at the edge of the woods right here. So I want this taken out, and it is actually right there. So maybe before this video is over, we are taking this 92.57. Let's call it 92.57. And currently we're at 92.54. Come on. You could do it. You could do it, Blue. And then here is the TMF. And obviously looking more straight up impressive because it is 3 times leveraged. So I bought at 47.20. So that would have been right in this area. And look what it's done. That's called the old blind squirrel trade. Is this a 1, 2, 3? Maybe threes all the way up to here. 4, 5. Is this it? If it's a local 5, then we should see an ABC and then resume with another 5 up. So that ABC would be if this was a small 1 and then we got a small 2, it'd be in an ABC fashion. So we'll be watching that, because if it does look exactly corrective, then you just got to keep on holding, because this thing's going to the moon. At least a 50 plus is the current target. It could turn down right here. It could get rejected, and then this just becomes more meandering. So I'll be watching carefully for that. Looks like it's trying to take it out. Let's do it. Let's do it. Getting exciting there. So we'll keep an eye on that. But back to silver. This is why I sold out one last Tuesday, because I'm like, that looks pretty good. So here's where silver was when I was selling out last Tuesday. And I definitely would have sold those 17,000 AGQ shares if they weren't encumbered and under contract in that covered call. TMF, is it trying to take a breather or no? It's trying. It may go in. If we track ABC, we're gonna be eating steak tonight, is what we'll be doing. So that's when I sold most things off, and then I didn't like any of this action. It was in the pivot, and then I'm like, hey, this thing's cooperating perfectly. And then if you remember from last week, I put this line in the sand at like 32.24, and it's now tested it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I wasn't liking that. Election coming up. Powell will be making his decision for us on a Thursday. Fed meeting starts tomorrow, and then result and press conference on Thursday for JP, Jerome Powell. So I'm like, I'll just rather better safe than sorry. We'll get on out of there and then live to trade another day. I've had a brilliant run this year. The Magic 8 Ball / blind squirrel trades. I'm going to patent the indicators for that. Close your eyes, shake the Magic 8 Ball, throw some darts at a chart, and then trade that. Bitcoin, done exactly what we were thinking, which is it did go up from where I was shorting it. Okay. So I started shorting it yesterday around here. I didn't even follow it all the way down. Probably it did have it was low 67s when I sold out. So I did have a little bit more room, but then it did exactly what the chart was saying it was going to do, which was rocket ship back up. And now we should probably see another we're looking for 5 waves up to take this top of this 3 out, which would be like 73,500. That's what we want to see next, but it could change at any time and fake us out, head faked up here and then back down for a lower 4. But my theory is we're going to get 5 waves up and take out this 3, which, like we said, is in the 73.5 range. On the Bitcoin, how we looking, TMF? You still rolling? See me rolling. Let's go. We going. Take it out resoundingly. Uh-huh. If you're not making yourself laugh, then I don't know what you're doing. I just don't know what you're doing. So there it is. I got 2 things on the board. We got that 92.50 call that we put on last week. We bought those 10 contracts, and we're currently down $10 bills, but we still have the rest of the week to collect. I didn't reach my goal at the very moment. I haven't reached my goal, which was I wanted to be in cash and at 2.5 plus on election night, and looks like we're at 2.482 because of that consolidation silver did to me. Bang, all the way down here, kick to the cookie bag, and then we had to get out just so I didn't have to think about it or worry about it. But as far as what we've been able to do so far this year, I can't complain. But on that TMF trade made this morning, we're up 27.30. So I do want to protect some of those upper profits, but I'll be looking for that ABC correction into wave 2. And that'd be a nice setup for a big run in wave 3. Because a big run in wave 3 could easily take us to 95 plus When's the last time we were at 95? Anyone want to tell me? It's been a while. I've traded TLT several times this year, if you recall. We don't have time for this thing to catch up, do we? We don't. This thing just doesn't like to cooperate. Is it my computer? I need more memory, need more processing speed. I don't know what any of that means. Would it help if I closed one of my 30 or like 28 of my 30 open tabs? Probably. Am I going to do that right now? Not even close. Do you like to ask questions and answer them yourself? I really do, because I talk to myself all day in my head, as I'm sure you do as well. So that's it. All we got is the one trade going on. I'm watching a lot of things. I'm watching the gold, the silver, the oil, watching the S&P 500 having a decent day. What else we got? Dow Jones rolling, NASDAQ, Russell. We got a bunch of green on the board. I would imagine, regardless of who is elected, and if we do in fact get the results before the night is over, look for volatility either way. Like, I think the market's going to take a breather either way, and then as early as tomorrow it could be popping back off. So I do remember distinctly back in 2016 when Trump upset Clinton and the market like tanked overnight. Like, the futures went downtown to Chinatown, circuit breakers shut the market down, and then the next day it was just like whoop, off to the races. So either way, I think either the government begins to deal with our national debt and the real issues that we have and stop so much fear or so much warmongering. And I'm not sure either political party is going to do either one of those things. So we are on our way, on the highway to crazy train. Wait, those are two different things, right? Yeah. I just didn't want to cuss in front of you because it would embarrass me. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's pretty boring only looking at two things going on here, but I feel real good deep down into my cockles about not having the risk on. I still have all the risk on in, my Vanguard brokerage account, Vanguard IRA account. We have IRAs with Ameriprise as well. And then a lady friend in her Robinhood account is all cash as well, except for she has the same TMF trade. She doesn't have the TLT calls, but she does have the same TMF position. I think she might even be. No, she's exactly the same cost, 47.20. So those were nimble fingers I was working with this morning when I took those trades on. Now I'll let you go. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I'll see you in the next video.